Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much again for joining me. So today's video is going to be my lockdown experience. This whole situation has been absolutely bonkers. It's been such a roller coaster, and I just thought I'd share with you my kind of experience with lockdown. Okay, so we are currently entering into our 6th week of lockdown. Like I said, the whole situation has been so crazy. It's been such a roller coaster ride. There's definitely been some ups and there's definitely been some downs. And yeah, it's just been the most bizarre situation that I could possibly find myself in, or obviously the whole nation really. It's not just me going through this. So yeah, it's just been really bizarre. So I thought I'd give you some insight into kind of what's going on in my home, who's here, what we're kind of getting up to and things like that. So I have a husband and I have 3 children. They are 9, 6 and 2. I also have 3 dogs. I have mum dog and I have her 2 puppies from a litter that she recently had. They're about 6 months old now. And obviously with children being home from school, I've had to homeschool them. So that in itself has been a massive challenge because my 9-year-old actually goes to a Welsh speaking school. Now, I don't really speak Welsh. I have a little bit of Welsh knowledge, enough to kind of show off a little bit to like English people that don't really know what I'm going on about, but she speaks fluent Welsh. And it's been quite difficult sometimes because some of the work that she gets is all in Welsh. So I have to get her to translate it before I know what is actually on the sheet of paper or on the computer, and then to actually help and get her to do it. So that in itself has been a little bit of a challenge. We have overcome it most of the times. Most of the time I do get the English translations through from the school anyway, so it's not too bad. But yeah, from time to time I will get something and I'm like, okay, what does that actually say before I can actually help her do it. And then with my son who's 6, he actually has some additional needs. So he goes to an additional needs school. So again, with him, it's been a challenge to actually get him to kind of sit down and do the work that's been given to him because he's not in his usual environment. He's not in his usual routine. So it's been difficult for him to kind of get that we're at home but doing schoolwork. So that's been really challenging. But in fairness to him, when he has actually sat down and done the work, he's done really well. I'm actually really impressed with where he's at the moment, considering where he was this time last year. The progress, I can really see it in him, so I'm really pleased with how he's coming along. Now, all this in itself would be challenging enough, but then I have a 2-year-old who is a very active, into everything kind of little boy, and obviously throw him into the mix where I'm trying to sit 2 other children at a table to kind of get some work done, and then he wants a drink, or he wants a biscuit, or he wants to go and play, or if he wants me to go get him something, he needs a nappy change because he's still in nappies at the moment. So yeah, it's just been cuckoo crazy school hours, trying to get anything done. It's just, there's been days where it's gone really smoothly, and there's been days where I've just gone, you know what, I give up. Wave the little white flag, I'm done for the day, let the kids go at the back and play, because it's just not happening today. But yeah, we've been giving it a really good go, but yeah, there's definitely been days that I've just been like, nah. And then you have my husband in the mix, bless him. He's obviously now working from home, and that's probably been one of the weirdest adjustments because he's home, but he's not. It's really bizarre because he's there, but he does have to work, and he's shut up in the kitchen all by himself. But the kitchen area is like the thoroughfare from our house, so obviously if we go into our living room but we need to go to the toilet, we have to go through the kitchen to go upstairs to go to the toilet. And the same if the kids are upstairs and they want to come downstairs to sit in the living room, they've got to go through the kitchen. Obviously if I need to cook, if I need to do snacks, anything on those lines, I'm having to go into the kitchen and almost disturb him in a way. So for him it's been really difficult to kind of get work done and be in the right frame of mind for work when me and the kids keep busting in and out of the kitchen. He's also sat on we've got an island in the middle of our kitchen. So he's got his computer desk, his keyboard, his mouse, headset, all the bits and bobs that he needs to get on with his day at work. But it's in a really awkward position because the island is a lot higher than the standard desk. So he's actually typing like this all day long. He's sat on a little gaming chair that he's bought for his own purposes. But yeah, it's a lot lower than the table is. So he's literally like this, typing away, mouse it's just crazy. I feel really sorry for him. And at the end of his day, he's just exhausted because he's like, this is just so uncomfortable and I just want to sit down on a sofa and just like, oh. But yeah, so, and like I said, because he's there, but because he's working, it's like he's not there. So it's really, really bizarre for me to not want to go in and talk to him and ask him to come and do things with me and the kids, because he's home and I can actually have him home, but he's got to work. So I'm sort of having the benefits with no benefits, if that makes any sense at all. But yeah, that's been a weird sort of thing to get my head around. This situation has also made filming a lot more challenging. If you've noticed in my last few videos, the backgrounds keep changing in most of my videos because I'm having to find different places at different times to film, depending on what I'm doing, depending on what the kids are doing. Yeah, it's just been a real pain because the place where I would normally film is in the living room, and my children are normally in there watching TV, doing homework, doing schoolwork, doing whatever it is that kids do. They play, all sorts. So it's way too noisy for me to even dream about filming in the living room at the moment. And obviously then my husband is now in the kitchen, so if I wanted to film, I can't even do it really in the kitchen anymore. So 9 times out of 10 now I'm going to be in my bedroom filming, because it's the one kind of area that I can make sure everyone else is downstairs. I can come up here and I can just get on with my filming and just do whatever it is I need to do with some form of peace and quiet, because it's challenging to get that these days. And in saying that as well, getting personal space for myself, again, has been a massive, massive challenge. I mean, I suffer myself with depression and anxiety, and I have done for a long, long time. And I kind of need my own personal space sometimes to kind of just relax and chill out and have a bit of head space and have a bit of breathing space, just to kind of have my moment to myself. And at the moment it is difficult to get that because, like I said, everybody is home pretty much 24/7. It's very rare we leave the house. We have gone for a couple of walks, but it's not an everyday occurrence. My husband tends to do most of the shopping because he's a lot stronger than I am. Obviously, being a man, he's a lot stronger than I am. So he will go out and he will get a good week's worth of shopping and bring it home, so we don't have to go out day to day or, you know, every couple of days. It's normally like a weekly thing that he goes out and does a really good shop. So he tends to take care of that. I have taken my dogs for walks every so often, but again, that's not an everyday occurrence. I have very little dogs that don't actually like walking a lot. So if I get the leads out, my dogs kind of hide as if to say, oh my God, no, she's gonna make us go out again. So my dogs don't really like being walked. So it's been challenging even to get them out so I can kind of force myself to go out, if you know what I mean. That's always been a bit of a challenge, even before the lockdown happened. But obviously with the lockdown, it's made it more of a challenge, I think, because I think to myself, right, I need to get myself out of this house for an hour. What can I do? And I think to myself, right, I'll take the dogs for a walk. And then they're like, no, don't make us walk, please. So yeah, that's not fun. But what I tend to do more often than not now is have a nice hot bubble bath. Once the kids are in bed, my husband tends to do some gaming in the evening, so he like logs on with his friends and has like an hour or two of a bit of a gaming session. And I just think to myself, right, I'm gonna go upstairs, I'm gonna run myself a nice hot bubble bath, and I'm just gonna get in and just soak away all the stresses of the day, no matter what's happened in that day, no matter what kind of challenges I faced for that moment. I can just kind of melt it all away in my nice bubble bath. And yeah, that's my happy place. It's a place that I can kind of just take a deep breath. I can watch a little bit of Netflix, I can read a book, I can play on my phone, whatever it is that I need to decompress my stress. I can just do it in the bath because it's my happy place. I think for me, the biggest challenge this lockdown has brought me is the house move. We were supposed to move at the beginning of this year, towards the end of February, early March at the most, we were supposed to move. And it was delayed a little bit because the person buying my house was having some issues on their side. So that was pushed back to sort of mid-March, and then of course the lockdown happened and it's just completely stopped everything. And for me, that's been the hardest thing to kind of comprehend and come round to, because I was so ready to move. We're partly living out of boxes because there's different things in different places. And yeah, my house is just a mess, and it's just not the best conditions for being stuck indoors 24/7 when you've got stuff in boxes everywhere and bits and bobs that are sort of organised but not fully organised because we weren't quite ready to move, but we were nearly there, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's been a massive, massive challenge for me, is to live in a house that's half here and half packed up. As well as this house for me hasn't felt like a home for a good couple years now. It's been a long time coming, this move. It's also a source of my anxiety. I've had some issues with this house and I was just ready to move on. We were ready for the next stage in our lives. The next part of us moving on to a new home was for me to be able to get my anxiety to a place where I was comfortable and happy, give us a fresh start, and yeah, just restart our lives in a new home. And I was so ready for that. And now that we're kind of stuck here for, really speaking, we don't know how long. This lockdown could go on for another couple of weeks. It could go on for another couple of months. We really, really don't know. And that for me has been the hardest thing to kind of overcome. Because all I want to do is just get out of this house, get into the new one and set it up. I mean, we could be using all this time that we've got free, that my husband's home, because he can still book holidays. So even though he's working from home, if he wanted to book a week off, he can. It's just there's no point right now because there's nothing for him to do other than help me with schoolwork, I suppose, but it's just not worth it. We may as well keep his holiday days for when we do move and then he can help out in that way. But yeah, we could have been in that house right now. We could have been decorating. We could have been doing all the bits and bobs that we wanted to do in the new house. But we can't. We just feel like this time is really being wasted in a house that we have no intention of staying in, and that there's no point in us decorating this one because someone else is going to come in and probably redecorate it themselves how they want it anyway. So it just feels like it's a massive waste of our time. But I'm really hopeful that this lockdown will be over, hopefully soon. I'm really, really hoping. And that we can kind of get back to some normality. We can see family and friends again because we've really, really missed family. I was supposed to go with my girlfriends at the end of May and obviously we've had to cancel that. So I'm gutted because we all live in different parts of the country. So one of my friends is from Scotland. We have a couple that are in England, and then we have me and another friend that's in Wales, but she's up in Barry, which is about an hour or so away from me. And it's the one sort of time every few months we get together and, you know, have a weekend together. And obviously we've had to cancel it this time around, so it's going to be another few months before we're able to do that again, which is really gutting, to be honest. And I know everybody's feeling the pain of missing family and friends. I'm not alone in any way, shape or form in this situation. But yeah, I think sometimes it helps just to kind of pour out your feelings, talk to someone that is close to you. For you guys, you know, you're my little community. It's nice for me to kind of share my experiences with you guys as well. It's just been the most random of times. It's been an absolute roller coaster, and I'm hoping that soon we can get off because I'm a little bit sick of the roller coaster now. We've had enough ups and downs, we've had loop-de-loos, and we've had all sorts of things going on. And yeah, I'm ready now to just kind of get off the roller coaster and go back to normal, average, everyday life. I never thought I would say the words, I miss work, but I do. I actually miss all my friends at work, the actual job itself, getting up in the morning and having a purpose and actually having to go out and do something other than just kind of get dressed to sit in my house. As much as I'm doing other bits and bobs, you know, I've been cooking, I've been cleaning, I've been schooling my children, I've been taking care of my youngest. Yeah, it's just knocked my routine completely out of whack. And for someone who has depression and anxiety, having that routine is something that I really do need and I cling on to because it gives me a sense of purpose. And to not really have that as much anymore is a bit rubbish. But we will all definitely 100% get through this. We're taking each day a day at a time. We're taking each tantrum a day at a time, each meltdown a day at a time, most of those from me. But yeah, I really, really hope that you are all staying safe in this situation. I hope you're all well. And thank you so much for listening to my little mini rant. And if any of you are struggling, please feel free to comment down below. I will reply to everyone that comments and I will help in any way I can for people that are struggling because it is a really, really hard time at the moment. But again, I hope you're all really, really safe and well. Please, please give this video a magical thumbs up if you did enjoy it. And also, if you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing to join my little magical world. And I will see you all really, really soon. Stay safe, guys. Bye.